When it comes to understanding emotional shifts, you have to realize just how deeply human connections are rooted in psychology. When you create space, when you pull back your energy, something remarkable happens in the other person's mind, especially a man's. Suddenly, you're not just someone he casually interacted with, you become someone he starts to think about, someone he begins to notice is missing. And here's the thing, people don't miss what they still have constant access to. When you stop texting, stop calling, and stop being the one who initiates, it disrupts the normal flow he's accustomed to, and that disruption creates curiosity. Think about it. When you've had something every day, be it attention, affection, or routine, and it's suddenly no longer there, your mind naturally starts to ask, what happened? Where did they go? Did I do something wrong? This is how emotional shifts begin. His mind starts to wonder why you're no longer reaching out. And that small seed of curiosity grows into an urge to connect again. It's not manipulative, it's human nature. We're wired to seek answers to the things that leave gaps in our daily lives. And when you're the one creating that gap, you become the answer he wants to find. What's fascinating is that this isn't just about making someone miss you. It's about allowing the natural emotional balance to shift. When one person constantly gives and the other simply receives, there's no need for the receiver to step up. But when the giver stops giving, the receiver has to question their role and whether they need to take action. This is why stepping back can often have such a profound effect. He will start to evaluate the connection he had with you. He'll replay conversations, wonder if he misreads your signals, and begin to feel the absence of your presence. And that's the key. Absence truly does make the heart grow fonder because it allows someone to see what they had, something they may have taken for granted. This is why emotional shifts matter. It's not about games or manipulation. It's about creating space for someone to realize your value without constantly reminding them of it. And when that realization hits, the desire to reconnect back becomes overwhelming. That's when the calls and texts start, not out of obligation, but out of genuine curiosity and interest. It's a powerful dynamic shift that works because it's rooted in authentic human behavior. When you stop reaching out, something profound happens in a man's mind that forces him to confront his own emotions. Men, like anyone else, can get comfortable when things feel predictable. They often operate in patterns and rhythms, and when you consistently text or call, it becomes part of their routine. But the moment you pull back, you interrupt that flow. You create a break in the cycle, and that's when self-reflection begins. Initially, he may not even realize it. At first, he might enjoy the silence, thinking he has more time for himself or that you're just busy. But as the hours turn into days, something deeper starts to stir. His mind begins to wonder, why haven't I heard from her? Did I do something wrong? Is she okay? Or is she pulling away? These questions tap into a man's inner insecurities and emotions, making him look inward to examine his own behavior and forward behavior and feelings toward you. You see, men are often conditioned to avoid vulnerability. Society teaches them to suppress feelings and act indifferent. But when faced with the absence of someone they care about, those defenses start to crumble. The space you create compels him to process what you mean to him without the comfort of your constant reassurance. It's as if your silence holds up a mirror, forcing him to see his own reflection in the relationship. And let me tell you, that reflection can be powerful. He begins to notice what he's missing, the little things you used to say, the way you made him laugh, or even just the comfort of knowing you were always there. Absence magnifies importance. And it's in this quiet space that he starts to realize just how much he valued having you in his life. And here's the truth: people value what they fear losing. By stepping back, you give him the opportunity to feel that fear, not in a manipulative way, but in a way that allows him to truly appreciate what he had. As time passes, his mind will naturally drift toward you more frequently. The silence becomes louder, and the unanswered questions create a sense of urgency. It's this process of self-reflection that often motivates him to take action, to reach out and reestablish the connection. And when he does, it won't be because he feels pressured. It'll be because he genuinely wants to. Your absence creates the space for his emotions to rise to the surface. And that's where meaningful change begins.